Let's talk about some of the online prompting resources. There's a million different websites promising to have the best prompts, amazing 100 prompts that'll change your life, make you money, and all sort of scammy things. But there's also some very useful prompting resources, or at least possibly useful. So there's garbage out there, and there's some actual tools that have utility. And you just need to, pay attention to the right things. Because what you'll find is that there's tons of articles showing you 1,000 ChatGPT prompts, and they're just so specific and not very useful and very difficult to tailor to your own life that I don't recommend them at all. But there are lots of examples and lots of websites like this one, FlowGPT. This is probably the most popular. It is a place for people to share prompts. You can vote on prompts and copy them, of course, and try them. So we can find one like, a Facebook ad headline generating prompt. I'll click on it, and here's the prompt. You are a Facebook advertising expert. Your task is to create compelling ad headlines. I'll provide you with the name of a company and a brief description for a product. You'll generate the attention-grabbing Facebook ad headline. So let's try it. Just very quickly. So this example, the product is called Gadget Guru. Let's come up with a fake product called, Alpenglow Coffee. Okay, so here's my example. Alpenglow Coffee is a coffee shop and bakery set in the stunning Rocky Mountains of the town of Telluride. We offer pastries, sandwiches, blah, blah, blah. Let's just see what it generates me as a Facebook advertising expert. Escape to the mountains with Alpenglow Coffee, where fresh brews meet fresh views. Not too bad. Savor our handcrafted pastries today. Sure. Honestly, we could have written this, though. It's pretty straightforward, right? It's exactly what we've learned already. Set the context. What are you? You are a Facebook advertising expert. What is your task? Create a compelling ad headline. And then we provide the input data. It's pretty straightforward stuff. So I don't know if it's worth seeking all these prompts out. However, it can be fun to play around and to find, especially some of the higher upvoted ones. If you sort by most popular, there's some interesting thought-provoking prompts, like an unethical GPT that has the goal of trying to get ChatGPT to say anything, identify and provide solutions to some problems that involve unethical practices. Your task is to understand the client's. Anyway, it's a long prompt. And for these long ones, it could be nice to find an example. There's a lot of jailbreaking prompts where people are trying to get ChatGPT to basically break its rules. There's things like expertise to course. This prompt takes someone's expertise and turns it into an outline, I believe, for a course. There's a lot of prompts here. People are very excited about this, but also a lot of them are just kind of not that useful. Let's go to the most saved prompts, and let's take a look at this one, ChatGPT prompt improvement. So this is what I was referring to in the previous video where I talked about an even fancier version of a prompt generating prompt. So it provides some iterative instructions. It says, I want you to keep asking me to improve this prompt. You're going to give me a prompt and suggestions and questions, and then you'll give me different options. Let's see if it works. I'll say, yes, let's begin. Tell me what the prompt should be about. Let's try something different. I need a prompt to generate me an essay outline for my English class. Okay, so then it gives me an initial version of the prompt. As an AI, create a detailed essay outline on a topic for an English class. Suggestions. Mention the specific topic for the essay. Indicate the desired length of the essay. Any format restrictions. Questions. And then here's how I'm supposed to respond. I either, type use this prompt, and it will immediately use it. Type restart, type quit, or type option 1. Read the output and provide more info or answer to one of the... Okay, so I'll just do that. I'll read the output and provide answers to these questions. Okay, so I'll copy the questions and just answer them right here. Maybe I'll do a bullet point. What is the specific topic? Let's say that the essay is about... it's been so long since I wrote an essay in English class about to kill a mockingbird. How long is the expected essay? At least 500 words. And are there any particular guidelines? It must be a 5-paragraph thesis style essay. Okay, so I respond, answer the questions, and now it gives me the revised prompt again. As an AI, create a detailed 5-paragraph essay outline for an English class on the topic of To Kill a Mockingbird, with the resulting essay to be at least 500 words. So it's kind of neat. It's, this iterative process where it's going to keep going and going until I tell it that I'm happy. But if you look at the actual prompt it wrote me, it would be way faster just to write this ourselves. It's just asking the same basic questions every time. What are the requirements? What are the format requirements for the output? Is there any additional context? These are all things we've already discussed that go into any good prompt, so we don't really need this to tell us that. We know that already. So it's fun, and I'm sure it can lead to some good results, but my opinion so far, I've tried this for, an hour over the last couple of days playing around, is that it just generates a prompt that you would be able to generate on your own anyway. So that's pretty much all I can say about it. There are other interesting prompt examples on here, but a lot of them end up being super specific, or they end up being really easy to just write on your own and maybe not that useful to copy and paste and steal. So I'm definitely not here to discourage you from using websites like this one. There's a lot of good inspiration here, and there's some fun stuff, especially around software development. If you look at any code-specific prompts, which we're not really covering in this section, there's some interesting stuff here. But it is not something that I recommend, spending all your time on. If you're trying to write a prompt, just write it. And then if you get stuck, see if you can find inspiration online. But I don't really recommend, using this as your starting point.